How's everybody doing? Good. Welcome to Cards and Sharps. Time for some more sharps. All right, we have a cleaver or sheepsfoot, whatever you might want to call this style of knife. It is the Kizer Mini Sheepdog. Yeah, Kizer is a Chinese-made knife that's known for making some pretty good knives. I have had a few of those cross my path. I've got a bag lighter right there, and I've had a few other knives, and they all seem to be pretty good knives. This is a one I brought in because it just kind of has a unique kind of look to it, and I kind of like the sheepsfoots myself. I actually find that they're pretty handy. All right, well, let's kind of go over some of the specs of the Sheepdog. Has a 5.77 inch overall length, with the blade being 2.63. So it's going to be legal for you folks that live where you have blade length restrictions. With a 2.5 inch cutting edge. You can see it's just got a little bit of a sharpening choil there. Blade width 1.25, so it's got that wide blade compared to its length, like all other of the sheepsfoot designs or cleavers. You've got blade thickness of 0.11, and it's got kind of a relief cut in there, and doesn't feel overly thick or beefy. The blade material is 154 cm, so not a premium steel, but still not a bad blade still. Got a flat grind, satin finish, plain edge. The handle length is going to be 3.14 with its 1.125 width. And I guess they're counting the clip in that, because it does not feel all that thick. Does not feel an inch thick. Well, it's only a ½ inch thick. So I was looking at the 1.25. 1.25 is this way. Handle material is G10. It feels like a G10. This ticker color is OD green. They do make it in some variety of colors. I think I've seen blue and black, maybe a couple other colors out there. It's going to be right hand only. Sorry, lefties. And it's only going to be tip up as it should be. So if you're going to have a knife that you can't change the angle of the dangle, then you definitely tip up is preferred, for, in my opinion anyway. I think in most folks see it that way as well. All right, this is a Chris Conaway design, and it's in the everyday carry category, and it I can see it could be that it's it's going to take up a little bit of pocket space. It's not that long, but it width-wise it'll take up a little bit, but it's not too heavy. It only weighs 3.17 ounces, so it's not real heavy. And as you can see in there, it's got some I don't know if you can see it or not, if it shows up on here, but let's look at it this way. Can't really tell if it's showing up, but it's got some drilling on the frame so that it does help reduce the weight on it a little bit. It's got a liner lock as you can see, it's about 25% lock up. Might could be a little better than that, but feels firm. There's no play in the blade. And let's look at the centering. It's perfectly centered in there. You can do adjustments to the pivot screws, so if you need to, and this one might need a little, I don't know, it don't feel tight really, but it's also not, you have to give it some maybe a little bit of wrist action when you want to flip it open. It feels like it might be getting a little better. It also had a lot of oil when it came out. You can still see some residue in there. Also, may have just maybe a little too much oil, kind of gumming things up a little bit. There you go. It's starting to feel a little looser, so it just made me a little break-in time. But I do like, I am a person that likes flipper designs, so that's my preferred deployment really on knives. Though I do carry lots of other knives that just have thumb studs, so it's not a deal breaker. It just, if I had a preference, I'd say that is what I like. All right, let's compare it to another well-known Sheepsfoot, and that's the CRKT Polar. And this one is from my personal stash, and it's one I love using. I never carry it because the screws stripped out, and I can't change the pocket clip to tip up, and that's the way I like to carry. But I do pull this one out of the drawer almost daily. I have a lot of boxes that come in, and between the knives and baseball cards and other stuff, I'm always opening boxes, cutting up boxes and whatnot, or just little chores around the house, and this is the knife I'll go grab for that. So I like the short, stout Sheepsfoot style, and so I would very attracted to the Sheepdog here, or just because I like that style. Another cleaver style I have is this Ganzo here, which I did do a video on, kind of talking about budget knives, and that's one that I hold on to because I do use that one, and it's an inexpensive, silly looking knife, but I love it, and because I just, something about that blade style I dig. So I am a Sheepsfoot fan for sure. So with that being said, naturally I like, there's a lot I like about the Sheepdog here. And one thing I like about the Polar better, this is not another Polar review. If you go back, you can see I did a full review on the Polar. With the Sheepsfoot style blade, you may do some chopping. You can take it with you when you go camping, or you're preparing maybe some food out at the campsite. They make a good cleaver, general purpose knife for preparing food, and just a lot of little chores you can do. Now, one thing I appreciate a lot about the Polar that I'm missing from the Sheepdog is that forward finger choil area where you can get in there and get a good choke up on the on the blade for really good for if you get in there and need to do some scraping, or if you're doing kind of some fine cutting, you can kind of really get in there with that. This is missing that. And also when on that choke up, you get that handle firmly in your hand, and this one I find it feeling a little bit like I want a little more handle in there. And I don't have large hands. I've got, I'd say, medium-sized hands, and for me, I just feel like I'd like to have just a little bit more handle there, or ability to get choked up on it. I feel a little bit out on the edge, but otherwise, as far as the feel, I mean, it's got the I like the G10 versus just the plain stainless. This one feels like it can get a little slick. The G10's got a nice feel. It's got these notches cut in there that they give you a little more extra grip. So I mean, what you do hold on to feels firm. I just like a little. I like it to get down there on the end a little more, especially if you're getting in there and doing anything where you really putting some power into it. But otherwise, it's a handsome knife, and I think it would do what it's designed to do pretty well. So it's just gonna come down to personal preference on that. And just talking about the forward tools, even the Ganzo here has that, so you can get in there and kind of get the detail work done and all. But that's just me. That's just something I like. All right, what else? It's got a complete pass-through design there, so if you do pocket carry this, you'd probably want to regularly kind of blow that out to get the lint out, where the Pilar has a shim in there that protects a big portion of that area, and as does the Ganzo. And the clip feels nice and has a good tension to it. Feels like it would work really well. So I would say I'd carry this one, give it a little try. I might carry it around for a day or two here and see what I think of it. Kind of giving it some use. And another advantage I'm going to give it over the Pilar is the weight. The Pilar is for the size, is a really heavy little knife, and this one is a lot more athletic. So I think it would feel better in the pocket for sure. But may give it a try, see what I think. If any of you out there have tried the Sheepdog, love to hear from you, see what you think of it. I think it's a nice looking knife, and definitely the pictures of it got my attention, and just feeling it and handling it, it feels like a nice knife, and it's a good quality knife. I think these run somewhere around $50-$60 range, so puts it in a higher price range category than the Pilar, but it does have a more elegant appeal to it. All right, that is all I've got on the Kizer Vanguard Mini Sheepdog. If you've enjoyed these videos, hit like and subscribe, and we'll have some more sharp objects coming your way. All right, we'll see you next time.